Okay, so I've made some progress on my sculpture, but I still got some work to do. What I did was I spent some time on this half, getting the muscles all correct and well defined, but I left the left hand side kind of undefined and a little bit rough. So I'm going to work on that right now. You're mostly going to see my back while I'm working. I apologize if that's a little bit distracting, but it's the only way that you can see what I'm actually doing here. So I've got my clavicle bone right here, and my pectoralis major connects along the inner part of the clavicle. My sternocleidomastoid attaches here, wraps around to the back of the neck. I can feel all that right now, so that looks pretty good. I want to define just a little bit more along here, so I feel like I can see where it's connecting along that sternum bone. And I'm going to take away just a little bit here. It's a little too much clay in that section. And I'm going to take away a little bit here, work my way along this lower section. And I'm going to take away a little bit here. It's feeling more like the right shape now. At this point, I want to define the deltoid more. So from the front, I can see the trapezius muscle. The trapezius connects up here at the back of the neck, the base of the skull right there, and it ends along here. So there should be just a little bit of a dip along here. So I'm going to define that dip. And right here is the deltoid. Connects to the clavicle. There's going to be a little space right here, and I'm going to dig out a little bit of clay along here, all the way down to right here, about halfway down the humerus is where the deltoid connects. So I'm going to scrape away some clay here in order to define that deltoid muscle. And the deltoid tucks under in between the bicep and the brachialis. You can't even see the brachialis yet. So let's do this. Let's define the bicep. Because the arm is extended, the bicep is elongated, it's not flexed. So the bicep's kind of going to be just kind of a long sausagey shape. So let's define that. Taking away a little bit of clay. I'm going to take away a little bit of clay down here. There's still a little bit of work to do on the bicep, and I'll do more of that later, but hopefully you kind of get the idea of how you do that. So let's work my way around here. Back of the deltoid. I'm going to keep defining it. The back of the deltoid connects, so this little dip right here represents where the scapula bone would be, and the trapezius muscle connects here, connects along the back right here where the scapula muscle is, or the scapula bone is, and then it runs down the back through here. I still have to define that a little bit better, but what I want to do right now is define this edge of the trapezius muscle, and the deltoid connects right there along the end of the scapula. So that's my deltoid. Feeling it a lot more now. Here's my tricep muscle. To define the tricep hooks right here up at the upper portion of the humerus bone and runs down along here and connects to the base of the elbow. This is going to be a little flat section right here. And on the back of the tricep, there's a little flat part here, and then there's a little bulge right there. So now I'm starting to feel that tricep connects to where the elbow's at. And the last thing I want to define here is my brachialis. So the brachialis starts behind the deltoid, the shoulder muscle, and it comes right here and is right next to the bicep. And then we have this guy right here. This is the brachioradialis. The brachioradialis starts with a connection to the humerus, and it wraps around to that front of the forearm. And that's a really important muscle for defining the shape of the lower arm. Alright, I'm not going to make you watch me do this for every muscle in the body. It could take a while, but this is the manner in which you should be defining all the musculature in the body. You should be thinking deltoid, tricep, brachialis, bicep, brachioradialis, pectoralis major. And what you can see, let's come over to this side. What we can see is, we can see that there's a hip bone under here. We can see the lateral oblique connecting to it. There's a little dip between the lateral oblique and the rectus abdominis. We can feel there's ribs under here. We want to feel all the bones and muscles where they connect and where they overlap with each other. So I'm going to keep working on this. I'll send you guys a couple pictures of my progress. And I'd like you guys to follow the same method to define all the musculature and bones of the body. So as we look on this side, it's still a little bit rough. I've got some work to smooth it out, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to be able to see where the muscles are. I want them to feel accurate and feel like this is a person's body that is in a natural and correct position. All right, get to it.